He has a house here, also owns a house in Vernon, Connecticut, and has a business out of there. He's the one that did this CMA.
Right. And he's in Connecticut, but maybe he's licensed in Rhode Island too.
Yeah, he's in both.
Okay, and you paid $250 for this house?
We did originally, but we took down the house that we paid $250 for. That house is gone.
So you've been at this project for almost 3 years?
4 years. Started in 2015.
We're pushing 5.
7 days a week, both of you working?
7 days a week. We both work full time, and we do this nights and weekends and every day.
And holidays and Christmas and vacation and.
I told you last Christmas you probably had a great time. I wired for 7 hours. Christmas before I was breaking up concrete.
I understand.
No,
You do what you have to do, right? And we can't afford to have somebody else build it, so we're building it. You know, it was all to get out of the floodplain.
Yeah, obviously, most of the houses on that street do have flood insurance.
So, Chris, where are we at? Where is the city at? And where are they at?
We're at, let me just go back to that. Oh, that's the wrong document. Just bear with me. This actually came in the form of 6 files.
Sorry about that. We usually over-provide. And it was a little late.
Right, but there are a lot of discrepancies also between what's on the card.
Did anybody from the city come out and take a look at this house?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
They walked through it last August.
Okay. Just bear with me here.
Sorry, keep it.
Keep coming up with Excel documents. All right. John, can you see your application?
Yeah.
All right. What's the new assessment on that property?
Let me see here.
I think it was 4 something.
I think it's 469, but I think you're wrong.
That's correct, 469,500.
And that was at a 58% complete.
And now you've completed more of it.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Your new assessment's 469.5. What was your old assessment?
Ooh, 2. What was the old one? 2 something.
I couldn't even tell you. You know, that house is gone. Like I said, we've been paying taxes on a house that didn't exist.
Yeah, it was 201,200, but as you said, it doesn't really have any relevance because that's not what's here now.
Right. So now we're assessing you at 469.5 with just about a new house overlooking the water.
Correct. Where we still, even today, you know, there's no bathroom in here. There's no hot water. There's no heat. I mean, we're getting there, but we're not there, right?
Neal, do you have any feelings on this? I think he may have went offline, John.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him on.
No, I'm here.
Oh.
Just switching through a lot of different screens.
That's okay.
Well, I mean, the main issue here, this is a unique construction. It's not a typical house where you can say, you know, they've done the exterior, everything's weather tight. Because of the concrete style construction and because of the order of some of the items that they're working on, it's not your typical which is why the board asked for that detailed listing of what needs to be done, both for 1218 and then again for 1219. If we looked at something from a total cost standpoint, do you have a figure at this point, what the total cost is gonna be when you're completed?
Here's your other problem, Neal, is that because we're doing the work, okay? And we're paying for most of it out of our pocket. I gotta tell you, when I'm done, I'm candidly, my, mortgage is gonna be 285. But
Yeah, what I'm looking
that's
at-
our waiver, right?
What I'm looking at, and the reason why I'm asking, there's several different ways we can look at the percentage of completion. Normally, we have a chart to say if you've done this, you've done this, you've done that, then you're at X% complete. That doesn't really fit well with the way this house is being constructed. So another way we look at it is from the total cost that you've spent to date versus the total cost that you're gonna incur when it's complete.
Right.
And I'm just wondering where those numbers might fall.
So, I'm guessing, okay, because we haven't, I hate to tell you this, but, we haven't kept track of every dollar we put into it. But we certainly have, if I gave you my out of pocket, I would guess that I'm at about $100,000 cash out of my pockets come into it. So when we're done, we're gonna be at, 380 all in.
But that's with you doing all the construction work.
Exactly.
I
But
find
that's
that
also, there was residual value, residual amount on my original note from the original purchase for the house that's gone, right? I hadn't paid that off entirely.
all right. I'm looking at your application, and I know somebody filled it out. It looks like previous assessed value was 2012 in 2008. Then it jumped up to 469.5 in 2009.
Couldn't have been nine.
No,
No way.
not in 9.
Well, if you guys filled this out, it says
It would have been 2000. It would have been the last appraisal that we got.
Well, it's saying here your new assessed value is 429,405.
It was reduced after the women came and from the assessment department. It was reduced from 469 to 429.
Okay. So what are you being assessed at now?
Well, it's a good question. According to the property card, the building is assessed at $590,000, and then reduced by whatever percentage complete.
Well, I can go into your tax records. I'm just telling you what you wrote on item E. It says new assessed value 429,405.
Right. So that is the current assessment.
Okay, so your assessment right now is not 269.5. It's 429,405.
Right.
Okay, that's not what you said earlier.
No, it said 469.5, Chris. I apologize, but I took that off the card and what came off of the CMA, right? Because he just pulled the tax card.
Well, according to your new assessed value, you wrote down 429,405.
Right, and that was the revised value that is not on any card that we've seen. We have not seen an updated card.
Okay. I can go into your tax records to verify this. Neal, are you still on the line?
I'm sure he's there.
Yes.
Can you look up what we're assessing these folks at now? Because
They already stated that, Chris. We don't change the assessments until the July bills go out, so there is no bill yet for 2020.
I
Partly
understand.
be dependent upon what the board decides today.
Right, but now we're going on, the value right now is 429,405.
That's correct.
Okay.
This president's gonna try to steal this election. This is a guy who said that all mail-in ballots are.
John, what's your feeling on this?
Do you have a brain?
So 429 in there
which is what, that is their assessment as we speak. It's not 469.5. It was 469.5. The girls went out, readjusted the assessment to 429.4, which is what they're being assessed at now.
And it appears that it's mostly complete, I would say.
I would, if I were gonna put a percentage on it again, I'd say 75 to 80% complete.
Today. 40% at the end of 2018,
45.
maybe 45.
You realize once this house is completed, naturally it'll be looked at differently.
Well, we understand that, but it's, at the end of the day, it's still a 2,000 square foot home basically with a garage underneath, 2 bedrooms and two baths. And
Right.
that's it. There's going to be no living space below the floodplain. Nothing.
Right. Well, that you did that so you wouldn't have to buy flood insurance. I don't blame you.
So, Chris, if I may, just to try to move this along, because we've got
Sure.
a long night. I'll just give you a couple of thoughts to consider. One possible way to look at this is they roughly paid $200,000 for the property. Based on the testimony, they put $100,000 into it. They did a lot of sweat equity. So if you add another $50,000 for that, we're at $350,000. That's my recommendation to the board.
Reducing the assessment from 429.4 to 350,000.
Correct.
John, what's your feelings on that?
I would agree with that.
I as well. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Reduce the assessment to 350, correct?
Yes.
350 it is.
Gentlemen, I appreciate you listening to this. This was not typical, very different. And I got to tell you, for us, where we've had no life for 4 years, the tax bill we got was crushing.
Yes.
Absolutely. Because we're still paying for materials, so we appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
More than happy